the home of the Mallee Stump. And rippin' good footy, the Mallee Football League.
I always love it when we get the Mallee Football League going here, Jason. It's always great to get involved in country football. You were out at the Mallee last weekend and you were having a ripping good time, weren't you, when the boys from Kowree and Pinaroo fronted up for the first match of the season?
I had a better time than Kowree, it's fair to say, on their home deck, although there was a big crowd out there, and I know that the Kowree folk had been 588 days since a game of football, 2019 in the Mallee. That was the grand final. So I know they were just happy to be back.
Oh, they were. Ben Hooper was happy to be back too from the BDT crew. G'day, Ben. How are you?
Well, thank you, gentlemen. How are you going?
Really good. Obviously, heading to that game first, it was a really one-sided affair, which Pinaroo were able to get home by plenty against Kowree. It was live-streamed too by the MFL TV, and a lot of people have had a look at it. But genuinely, Pinaroo, good start to the season for them.
Absolutely. I think they'd be pretty happy. Nick Hyde taking on the coaching role, he'd be extremely happy. He played very well himself in the ruck, but he'd be wrapped with some of those guys coming into their team, and particularly Moroney. I think, as you mentioned, the scores weren't up online, but from viewing the podcast, it looked like he was exceptional. Tall, fast, played through the midfield. Looks like a hard one to match up on, I reckon.
Yeah, final scores in this game were Pinaroo 14-19, 103, and it was Kowree, of course, just the 2 goals, 8-20. A bit of an arm wrestle for probably the first half an hour. I think the first quarter, there wasn't much in it at all, but as the day got longer, Pinaroo kicked away, and Moroney was outstanding, both Moroneys, in fact. But the big tall one, Ben, I think it was, he was outstanding. Ryan in the ruck just looks a class above. He was brilliant all day long, and they had some other stars out there as well. Baker up forward looked pretty good for Pinaroo. So they're going to be right there when the whips are cracking. For Kowree, Nathan Brown was a one-man band pretty much. He ran around directing the troops and getting plenty of the footy. They had a few guys that had to go, but they just didn't have anything at all up forward. So they've got some work to do, Kowree.
No, they certainly have. Lamoureux went to work on Murrayville. Ben Hooper 15-19 to Murrayville, 10-15 in the opening match for the Bulldogs on their home deck.
Yeah, I think positives for both teams there, I reckon. Murrayville would be happy with how they presented. They, to their credit, they were a few short, and they pulled a few up out of the B grade to make sure it was a full game, so they didn't play the 16 on the starting. So credit to them, and I reckon Tom would be pretty happy with how they went. And then to Lamoureux, obviously, Denty's got them fired up pretty well, and good to see their local players play really well. Billy McNeil and Josh Barrett, I think they're their captains, and certainly led the charge out there.
Werner booted 6 for Lamoureux, Bailey 4, O'Toole 2 for Murrayville, Radak, Lewis, O'Toole named in their best for Murrayville, and for Lamoureux, Barrett, McNally and Wilson, along with Zimmerman and Werner. So they're looking all right early doors too, Lamoureux.
They are. William Werner, a breakout game for him at senior football. He loves to hear his name on the radio. Is he a better cricketer than footballer is the question, Ben Hooper?
I think that Denty's going to lay claim to this one. He's going to create the best Mallee full forward going around out of Willie Werner.
Oh, gee, he's a big boy, William, and he certainly can clunk a good mark. But tell you
Back
what,
that bus over him.
Oh, we've got him going now. We love hearing his name. BDT 14-8-92 to Peak 12-8-80. Gee, this game was close, and they took it right up to you, and they were very good on their home deck. They played that ground well. You just got over the line really here in a real arm wrestle in the end, Ben.
Absolutely, yes. Credit to Pete and Clunny for pulling the team together. They've done a wonderful job, and really looked a bit sharper than us at the start of the game. Heading into quarter time, they took quite a handy lead, and it took a fair bit of effort for our lads to claw their way back into the game. And we had a handy lead at 3/4 time, and unfortunately, we just we dropped the bundle a little bit, and they snuck right back at us.
It can happen, but one thing I noticed, BDT, no Richardson named in the goal kickers or in the best players. So obviously he's going to be a loss, but look, I've got no doubt you've got plenty of quality to back him up. You've got Hawthorn and I can't pronounce that boy's name, but both of them booted 5 anyway. So you've got him well covered.
Go with Louis up forward.
Louis, all right, I'm going with Louis. Louis and Hawthorn with an E. They kick 5 each, so plenty of class there. For Peak, they shared their goals around. A couple of goals to Hone, Braidwood and Gennagus, something like that. Pederick, and I spoke to Adrian Pederick through the week, BDT legend.
Yes.
Played a lot of reserves footy with you guys, I believe, Hoops.
Absolutely, he did indeed, yeah.
Now he's got 2 lads running around for Peak. What do you make of that?
Who knows how things play out, but Mac Pederick, he was exceptional across halfback, actually. He was involved in everything, so credit to him, he played a handy game, and it's great to see those local lads in each of the teams throughout the weekend all stepping up and having a good crack, and he certainly led the charge for Peak.
Yeah, like I tell you what, bang on. Good on you, Mac, and good on you, Ped. Always great to catch up with you from time to time. But what about round 2? We're going to head into it. We won't cover the minor grades today just for time's sake, but Ben, we will get to them through the year as the season unfolds. But this week's matches, Lameroo at home get Karoonda, and gee whiz, if Karoonda are really going to have to lift from last week, they need to. And Lameroo with Denty at the helm and Big William Werner kicking a bag. I think Lameroo Hawks start very firm favourites here.
I strongly agree. I think you're spot on. Credit to the Karoonda young guys as well, which is encouraging to see their younger ones do quite well, particularly Shane Pace. You can see through the video footage, he looked really sharp. He presented himself really well. And Elliot Wagner and Tom McKinnon down back, they all had a really good crack. But I think Lameroo, strong with that 60-man list that they've got, they'll be bringing a few back in for the next few weeks, and they'll just be going from strength to strength, I reckon. So they'll be pretty hard to beat.
Pake was a star last week for Karoonda, I've got to say. Micking down back will be important as well. But Lameroo, I think, will be too good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they will be looking at the next game. Penaroo take on BDT. You get the road trip over there. And what are you going to make of these Superoos? They were good last week, and you blokes had to fight to get over the line. We might just see a little early sign of where the clubs are at this week, Ben Hooper.
I agree, yes. Our boys will have to certainly step up. I think on paper, Pinaroo started the season probably as one of the favourites, and they certainly presented that way last week. So, we've got a couple of ins, and I believe they do too. So, it'll be interesting to see how we go over there. But on paper, they probably look the stronger team at this point in time.
Weapons all over the ground, Pinaroo, no doubt about that. You'll have to stop Baker up forward. And Moroney, I don't know if you've got 6'3" on ballers don't grow on trees, do they, Hoops?
Hell no, he was exceptional. He was, and looking forward to seeing him in live in action.
Yeah, all right. Well, it should be a good game. I think Pinaroo might get the job done here, but of course, we thought Pinaroo might get the job done grand final day in 2019, and that didn't go all that well either.
No, it didn't go. I thought Hoops was given an opportunity there to say that when he was running around the midfield for the old BDT at 6'3", that he might have been up there with those midfielders, Hoops?
Yeah, absolutely. Once upon a time in my dreams, that's for sure. But I hear that Nick Dabnett, he still hasn't recovered from that loss in 2019. And so he's in the caravan, he's packed off, but he's left. He's for a holiday for the start of the season. So.
Well, at half time, I think they were printing the T-shirts, weren't they?
Right.
The poor Pinaroos. And never mind, it can happen. It was a heck of a clash, that one.
No, it wasn't.
If we get a game like that, it'll be worth watching. But last game of the round, I reckon, will be a good one as well. Peak taking on Murrayville. Murrayville will come across the border for this, and Peak might just start favourites here.
They may indeed, absolutely. On their home deck, they'll be up and about. But, like I said, credit to Murrayville. They really battled hard, and there was some very sore bodies from Lameroo, so it's taken a bit to get them back on the track. But Murrayville, they'll take it right up to them, I reckon. Ruckman Raddick, he was really strong from all reports, and they'll have a really good go. Pretty quick on the attacking side of things, so when there's a turnover, they're pretty hard to stop and look pretty sharp up forward.
Oh, sharp. And I'll tell you what, the Flowman will be looking pretty sharp out there at the Peak Oval, because I'm heading that way for the MFL TV commentary coverage. So I'll tell you what, Hoops, look out, because I'm going to be calling some of the Murrayville boys and the Peak boys too. There'll be a lot of new faces and names for me out and about. I'll tell you what, this is a good weekend. Very interesting. I reckon round 2 starts to give us an idea of who's who and what they've got. And Hoops, I know that we're going to look forward to your summation of it next week.
Absolutely. I think you're spot on, round 2. And I got to footy early this weekend to go and buy myself a budget and to get track of all these names, as Toby taken all the name tags from around the shops. But we don't have budgets in the Mallee anymore, so we're under the team app, and there was that many downloads going on that the team app crashed. So it's still none the wiser.
As long as the MFL TV screen doesn't crash when I'm actually commentating, everything will be fine, Ben. Mate, we'll look forward to your comments next week.
Thank you very much, fellas.
It's all under one roof at Walter Agencies, your local CRT rural and farm supplier in Lameroo. You'll find Broadacre Chemicals, sheep and animal health, with suitable advice on animal husbandry, even pet foods and supplies, along with hardware supplies from polypipe water tanks and fittings to concrete and poly troughs. Plus boots from Bluntstone, Rossi, Steel Blue and Boggs rubber boots. And the friendly service you always get at Walter Agencies, your local CRT rural and farm supplier in Lameroo. 44 Railway Terrace North, or phone 8576 3311. The team at Nutrien Ag Solutions, Burn Ag in Lameroo and Karoonda are passionate about providing soil and livestock nutrition products and information that assists farmers with the best farm management practices. They also provide fertiliser and soil testing services, agronomy, animal health and insurance, along with the livestock services of Keller Livestock, Nutrien Ag Solutions, plus Mark Egan with Real Estate Nutrien Harcourts. There for farmers. Talk to the team today. Nutrien Ag Solutions, Burn Ag in Lameroo and Karoonda, helping Australia grow.
Southern Contracting Group takes pride in providing the highest quality products and services at competitive prices, covering the Southern Mallee, Mid-North, Riverland, South East and Western Victoria. From mobile rock crushing and screening to ready-mix concrete and bulk and civil earthworks. And the Callington Quarry is now open for quarry products including limestone and bluestone, concrete stone, ballast, rubble, road-based sand and Gabion rock wall. Perfect for contracting or landscaping businesses. Open Monday to Friday 7 till 5, Saturdays by appointment. Visit southerncontractinggroup.com.au, find them on Facebook or call 08 8576 3627.
T-minus 9, 8, 7.
Don't miss the New Holland Tractors Great Rate Countdown at Ronco Motors. From as little as 0.44% on the T4 Series to 0.99% on the T9 Series tractor, we're counting down great tractors with great rates in our end of financial year sale. Order your tractor before June 30th and take delivery before December 31st, 2021 and benefit from the government's instant asset write-off tax incentive. Finance to approved ABN holders subject to terms and conditions. Contact Ronco Motors for more information. Ronco Motors, we're here for all your machinery needs.
Piers Motors is more than car servicing and repairs. They'll keep you rolling with a huge range of tyres to suit all makes and models. From brands like Toyo, Mickey Thompson, Goodyear and Bridgestone, they stock the full range of Penrite lubricants for your car, truck, tractor and motorbike. Check out the retail shop for Nava accessories, cables, lights, towing and recovery gear, UHF needs, tyre repair kits, you name it, Piers Motors have got it. Drop in today, 23 Adelaide Road, Pinaroo. Phone 8577 8256.
The Southeast, known for its amazing flora, fauna and footy. Mid-Southeast Footy.
Oh, yes, the Flow Friday night sports show, Mid-South-East football. Let's have a look at what happened with the Robe Roosters and everyone else. I think the Robe Roosters forward line is in hospital with leather poisoning. Who have we got on the line, Flow Man?
Jared Dawson joins us. Of course, Jordan Dawson, brother, playing with the Swannies and having a pretty good time of it actually up there at the moment. G'day, Jared. How are you?
Good, thanks, Wayne. Jason, how are you?
Really good, really good. Port McDonald, they tried hard, kicked straight. Kalangadoo nearly kicked themselves out of this down at the Port. 15-18, 108 to 16-3, 99. A good win for Kalangadoo.
Yeah, I think both Jason and I picked Port Mac in this one, but obviously I think Kalangadoo probably could have won by a lot more by going by the amount of points they kicked, but close one in the end.
Yes, but it just goes to show sometimes you don't have to kick straight. But Mount Burr, 13-13-91 over Glencoe, 10-12-72, another tight game. But Mount Burr have presented pretty well to start the season, haven't they?
Yeah, they've started off pretty well and probably a bit unknown coming into this season. And, they're looking like they're going to be around the mark again. So
I certainly will be. Coorong did nothing wrong. 19-12, 126 to Tandanoola, 6-5, 41. And you beat Tand in the first match. And, gee, when Coorong came up with that score at Tandanoola, you'd have to start saying, Jared, that these guys in the Coorong Hawks, they could be good this year.
Yeah, I think they've picked up a fair few recruits. And, I think this is a bit of a shock, this result. I thought it might have been a bit closer. But, obviously another one to watch when we come up against them later on in the year. So.
And then the last match of the round to talk about those Robe Roosters. Now, let's go through this. 34-21 declared, 225. Nangwarry, 1 goal to 8. So, look, the Saints are struggling. We know that. The Roosters cashed in. We know that. Gee whiz, you shared the goals around a little bit too, if you don't mind. Jack Kelly doesn't boot 4 goals all that often.
We started off pretty slow. I took it up to us in probably the first 10 minutes, but it's pretty hard to sort of get up for a game like this. But, we sort of changed a few blokes from forward to back to try a few different things before the big game this weekend. And, it was a pretty good team effort in the end. So
Just a lazy 22 goals in the second half, if you don't mind, and 14 to end the game in the last quarter. So you came home, your fitness must be all right.
Yeah, we probably overran them in the last 2 quarters, definitely. Just spread the ball pretty wide and took advantage of it in the last half. But, up until half time, it was obviously a lot closer. But, Nangwarry have actually improved on previous years, but obviously still struggling a bit. So,
improved, but it's going to be a hard and long road back for them. That is for sure. What about this? We'll go to the other grades of football that were played, and the Robe Roosters. Some pretty impressive performances. Your twos have been up and about this year, and they've certainly come out to play. They kicked 23 goals to nothing from Nangwarry. How are the boys celebrating that match?
Had a few beers afterwards, I think, but. 2 wins on the trot's probably been pretty unheard of for the reserves in the past. But, they've got some good numbers on the track and good young kids. So, it's good to see, getting a few wins on the board.
I'll tell you what, they named Cross, Linky and Sawyer. Normally they name about 8 best players at Robe in the twos, but this week only had to name the 3 because everyone was all played well, I think.
It's one of those ones, all played well?
I think it was all played well, no doubt about it. Let's have a look at the senior Colts. This is a good group of kids that are coming through too, and they won 18-11 to 2 points. Gee, mate, how do you go with this? You've got a young guy called Dutton, and I know that I think he's been picked in the Glenelg underage side. Is he one of the lads that you're watching come through?
Yeah, so James Dutton's the younger brother of obviously George, who played a bit of A-grade footy for us, and they're both obviously senior Colts. They're college kids, so they'll go back to school after this week, and we'll get them back in the break. But, they're good kids to watch and playing some good footy up in Adelaide, and both with the Robe senior Colts and A-grade. So.
Young Western booted 4, Cornish 3, and I had about 3 Cornish pasties for lunch there, I've got to say, that day as well. So he's kicked 3 goals. He's a good young fellow. McInnes booted 3 as well. So these young kids know where the goals are, that's for sure. Anytime you're booting 18-11 in a senior Colts match, you're going all right.
Yeah, absolutely. Sutherland amongst it too. I thought when you said McInnes, I thought you might have been talking, you had a couple of Guinnesses with those pies that you had, but you weren't heading in that direction.
No pies,
at all.
Cornish pasties.
Sorry, getting them right. I'll have some pies, you can have some pasties. Let's have a look at this. Jared Dawson, the juniors, the kids play absolutely beautifully. 11-4-70 to Nangwarry, 1-1-7. Who were the stars?
Mason McKenny with this one. That's the son of Dingo McKenny, who played over a couple hundred games for Robe, so he's coming through. Bigger lad in his last years of junior Colts. So Cooper Thomas, Caden Carter and Charlie Moore. So, a couple of good young kids there.
Good Sounds great stuff, isn't it? So exciting to the Robe Club is really bounding forward this year and looking good across each of the 4 grades, which is great. Okay, this is where it happens. Kalangadoo and Mount Burr in senior football. Your tip?
Kalangadoo.
Yeah, I think Kalangadoo might just get the job done there as well.
I might tip an upset here, Mount Burr, just to test them out a bit. Glencoe and Tandanoola. Glencoe for all of us?
Yep.
I think by plenty.
Coorong to kick a cricket score on their home deck, and they beat the Robe score from last week. Probably that's the question. Will they get 34 goals, Jared?
I think so, yes.
They may.
And the Robe Roosters have got the big one across all 4 grades. If there's a nemesis for you blokes and a team that you absolutely want to beat every time, which one is it?
Yeah, definitely heavily. I think it's going to be a great day at Robe tomorrow. Plenty of effort gone in across the board, just a big crowd and probably match it around between the A grade and like you said, across the board, there's going to be some good contests because Hadley usually have good juniors and good reserves. So I think it'll be a good day for footy.
Be some cracking games of football throughout that round of fixtures there at Robe, and Port Mac, of course, have the bye, so they'll enjoy the week off. Anzac Day clashes. Not played on Anzac Day, though, all on the Saturday, so no Anzac Day match, in inverted commas, for you guys down there in mid-South East, but I'm sure you'll honour the day regardless.
Yeah, we've got a fairly big day planned with veterans coming that have come down for the weekend, and we had a big jumper presentation and stuff at the club last night. So there's 40 to 50 veterans that are down at Robe Footy Oval, and the ball's getting brought in via a group flying out of the sky. So a few big events for the day, and then obviously down to the dawn service on the Sunday morning as a football and netball group. So
beautiful. Good on you. That's excellent.
Yeah, Robe, great, doing it fantastically. And Jared Dawson, thanks for doing that. It's top of the table, Robe, this week against Hatherleigh in the third place on the ladder. Robe undefeated at the moment along with Mount Burr in this competition. So it's going to be an exciting round 3 of matches in Mid-South Eastern football. Jared Dawson, good to have you on board.
Thanks for that, Wayne. Thanks, Jason. Cheers.
Robe Roosters Football Club proudly acknowledges our major sponsors.
Robe Hotel, waterfrontage, accommodation, gaming room, TAB and bistro dining. See you at the Big House. Come and experience the sound, the mood and the food at Robe's Lakeview Motel and Apartments. Phone 8768 2100. Topline Promotions, the very best in promotional merchandise for over 30 years. Top service and top prices. Toplinepromotions.com.au.
Let's cheer the red and the white. Go the mighty Roosters.
If it's big and it digs, Southeast Excavations in Robe has it and know how to use it. Ask about your next project. From subdivisions, road construction, block levelling, supply and install of septic systems, or limestone and sand from their licensed mines. Southeast Excavations have the right equipment and get the job done quickly and professionally. If it's big and it digs, Southeast Excavations Robe has it. Find us at seexcavations.com.
Siren sounds, and the team at Kevin Wright Plumber and Gasfitter are fit and ready for the big plays. Call into the showroom and see their huge range of Onga pumps on display. They're the only choice, with an Onga pump for your every need: stock water, irrigation, rainwater, submersibles. Be on the winning team with your local trusted Onga pump dealer and service agent, Kevin Wright Plumber and Gasfitter, providing expert advice for all your pump needs and plumbing as well. Servicing Kingston and surrounding districts. Phone today, 87672070.
In Robe and looking for something to do? Robe Auto and Marine can help. Explore the trails and paddle the lakes with mountain bikes, canoes, paddleboards and kayaks available for hire. Or if you need local advice on fishing, they have qualified staff and a mega tackle shop with heaps of bait, tackle, rods and gear to hire, so you can hook the catch of the day. Whether it's a hire for a day or a week, see the friendly, helpful staff at Robe Auto and Marine for your next fun day out. Open 7 days.
Kingston IGA is your one-stop local shop for all things fresh. From fresh local meat to fruit and veg, plus perfectly cooked chickens. And a variety of local fish on offer, fresh on fishing days, then conveniently available frozen all year, along with SA prawns and oysters. All on offer with IGA's price match guarantee, giving you value for money. Kingston IGA, supporting local and supporting you. Why not pop in today? 32 Holland Street, Kingston. Open 7 days.
Amy's got the team pumped for another winning season, and JB, a pro at cleaning up Mad Mondays. But let's see what the 2021 Crown End team can do. Tommy G pours a schooner. No, wait, it should be a pint. Nice save there by Tin Man, but there's a commotion in the back. Christie's new lunch menu has the punters scrambling. Shay has the orders under control, with Alan Kim heading for the wings, while Heather adds depth to the back line. It's great team play that earns a smile from Whiskers. Hang on, he's asleep again. They're winners. They're grinners and supporters of the mighty Kingston Saints. Kingston's legendary Crown Inn Hotel.
HF Dicker & Son, the name to trust for over 80 years when it comes to transport. Offering daily freight services from Kingston, Robe, Adelaide and Mount Gambier, and weekly services from Melbourne. From general and bulk freight to wool, hay and tipper services. Plus, landscaping and garden supplies with soil, sand and concrete for any job around the home, farm, shed or council area, either pickup or delivery. The name to trust for over 80 years. HF Dicker & Son. Call today, 8767 2452.
For vehicle servicing and repairs in Robe, O'Halloran's Diesel and Marine will keep your motor running. Car, four-wheel drive or truck. Your local Repco authorised service centre with fully qualified technicians using only quality parts and the latest diagnostic equipment. From a new vehicle logbook service to maintaining an old reliable workhorse, get peace of mind with Repco's nationwide warranty on parts and service. You'll feel safe on the road with their professional wheel alignment equipment and huge range of tyres, including the top-selling Toyo Open Country. Visit the team today at O'Halloran Diesel and Marine, 56 Robe Street Road.
For reliable services in bulk haulage, earthworks, roadworks, fertiliser sales and spreading, and suppliers of concrete, Clark Brothers is the team to call. A team you can trust to get the job done right the first time, every time. Providing professional services at affordable rates to our customers. Operating a wide range of vehicles and trailers to cater for any load size. Plus an extensive range of earth moving and construction equipment. Call the team who get the job done right. Clark Brothers, 8767 2229.
The KNT Footy League.
Oh, yes, we are back in Dynamite. Sam Graetz is on the line to talk about what's been going on in KNT football. He had a dynamite clash at Lucindale on the weekend. Sammy, how are you?
Very well, gentlemen.
Excellent. So tell us about your game. That's where we're going to start. It was the thriller of the weekend. Lucindale coming from behind at home to knock off Panthaway by a single point, 11-11-77 to 11-10-76. Tell us what happened.
It was an absolute roller coaster, and it was a great game of footy to watch. Actually, for anyone that was there, it was very physical. It was very quick, and it was half time. We thought we were controlling the game pretty well, and then the third quarter. We kicked a couple of early ones, and I thought, we're on the right track. And then Tobin Cox got off the chain a bit, and the ball just kept landing in his lap in the third quarter. He kicked 5 in the third quarter, and we were down to 2 on the bench for Lucindale, which is a common occurrence for us. But at the end of the third quarter, we just sort of said, look, we've got to keep trying out what we've been doing and keep practicing, practicing what we've been trying at training. And the boys, to their credit, I've never seen a side just hold on like they did and chase right to the end, and we ended up getting up by a point. It was pretty tense.
Sammy Logan, he got tense, did he? He kicked an absolute belter to put you in front, and it was the game, set and match. Bad luck for Pathway. Of course, you all know each other so well because your juniors play together, and that is just something that everyone, I guess, comes up after the game. I know on the A grade you're out there to win matches for your club, but this was a fantastic spectacle of football, and well done to Pathway to fight it out as hard as the Lions did. Gee, what about this? Kingston 9-11-65 to beat Border Districts over at Francis 7-9-51, and the Saints will say that this is a good start to the season for them, Sammy.
It was a good start. I thought it would be close. I think Kingston just had a few better players on the day, and I was talking to a few Kingston blokes, and a few of them were a little bit disappointed with some of their travellers, but I said, you've got to give them time. I think they've got 18 or 12 travellers coming from Adelaide, and you know that when you've got that number of blokes coming in, it does take time for them to gel. So getting the win early, that's all it's about. Early wins, getting them on the board, and you know, you look back at these wins and you think, God, I'm glad we got them at the start of the season because they really do help in the back end. So that was good for them. I seen Big Milligan in the ruck got best for them. So
yeah, that's a turn up. Where did he come from?
He's been working over that way.
Okay.
For years. So yeah, he's pulling on the boots.
He has, I reckon, over Mundalla originally, wasn't he, one of the Milligan boys?
Oh, boy.
Yep. Kennedy with 3 and Hampton Hellier with a couple from Borders and Adams, and Quinn and Moore played some good footy. Rogers and Laurie supported Milligan in a good win for the Kingston Saints. It was a great performance by Keith. 11-12-78. Too good for Kobe Bowl 8. 3-6-24. And Sammy, how did this unfold?
Well, I think this one was pretty expected. Kybee are probably going to struggle a little bit this year. They've got a lot of young fellas. I can probably announce it tonight, actually. Some big news out of the Kybee camp. They're probably not going to be very happy about it, but our man, Tom Cooper, has actually joined the Paddy Lions, and I think he's going to start over there in round 4 or 5. So,
whoa!
Pretty big news from Kybee, but it's all for the right reasons. Tommy's he's started up a business over there in Nutrien, and he's him and a mate Ben Thring from Padua are jumping on board. So he's doing it for the right reasons, but it's a big loss for Kybee. So that won't help him at all.
That is a big loss for Kybee. I thought you were going to tell me that he was going to open up maybe a fast food outlet down there, main drag. But,
Hungry Jacks or something. But anyway, not to worry about that. There's some big surprises happening around KNT, and one of them was Mundalla. Would maybe not surprise. 30-11-89. Naracoorte 8-9-57. What about this, Sammy Graetz? I mean, Naracoorte, I reckon, got a lot closer here. And as I mentioned, I think in our preview last week, they've got a couple of really good players over at Naracoorte. Rory Taggart coming down from Mypolonga in the River Murray can go, and not only him, but this Ellis is a good player too. I reckon that they're going to be a tough side this year, and they're going to sort some other clubs out. Just one poor quarter from them in that third quarter, and it cost them the match against the highly rated Moots.
Yeah, I was talking to Zach Donnelly during the week, and you can see it was dead even at half time, and unfortunately Mundalla at home, that's all you need to do is you have one bad 10-minute period, which they did, and it cost you because they come right back in the last quarter and they outscored them. So it was just that one third quarter, and Mundalla, they do it all the time. You give them 10 minutes of bad footy, and they just hurt you so bad on the outside, and they move that footy so quick. You look at their best players: McGrice, Ballinger, Luckett, Mosey, Big Hingy kicked 3, Tank 4. Like, it's all the same names, and they've just been doing it for so long, and they are very good at it now. So, but it was big credit to Naracoorte coming back from where they were. So I think they will hurt a lot of teams this year. It's going to be pretty even, I think.
Very much so, particularly if the next result we have a look at is as legit as we believe it is. I couldn't believe this scoreline when I saw it, but the Chooks didn't quite get the job done at Bordertown. In fact, the game was at Penola, 9-8-62 for the home team. Bordertown 8-10-58, just 4 points in it, and Bordertown have obviously done some recruiting.
Well, it's either one way or the other. We don't hear too much about Penola, do we? And we're about Bordertown, so it's either Bordertown has picked up extremely or Penola's maybe just dropped back a bit. But I have heard before in the pre-season that Bordertown have done some big things. So either or, that's a great result for Bordertown to come back. I think they were bottom of the ladder last year. So to get within 4 points of a team that played in the prelim in 2019, that's a fantastic effort. And good to see Clint Dement and those sort of names back in the KNT. He's a good player. You look at the Penola boys, and there's a lot of merits. There's a lot of walkers. Penola's just the usual blokes stepping up. So they'll be once again around the mark, and it'll be good to see the first month actually play out in the KNT.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm looking forward to this round of matches, because have a look at this.
Well, it doesn't really matter what round you pick at the moment. There's some cracking games.
And I don't know how you can actually work to who to tip. There's some rival games here too. Oof. Now, Sammy, if you're in Bordertown close, Border Districts are one of the rivals to them. It had, I reckon, back a few years back, some of the Bordertown boys went down to play at Border Districts in that era, and it never ever got that little bit of niggle always remains after that. And I'll tell you what, this is going to be a ripping game. I think Bordertown can beat Border Districts at home.
Well, I think they probably have the upper hand being home. They play that big deck well. Borders are used to that small oval, but it's just going to be like you just say, it's going to be a really interesting first 3 or 4 matches just to see where everyone sits on the pecking order. But I think you're right. Bordertown's top end, I think, might be a bit too good.
Tell you what, I'm looking forward to seeing the Keith Crows take on Penola as well at Keith. This should be interesting. We'll get a better idea of where Penola are at. Watch after this game's finished.
That's it. This will be a cracker. We would have said Keith and Padua at the start of the year are the two to look out for, and Penola's the smoky. We'll see how good Bordertown was last week to get near them, and it's at Keith's home ground, so you'd think they'd have a pretty good shot, I reckon.
Okay, rivalries in this, and we talk about the Anzac weekend. We got Naracoorte and Kaiby, and we got Kingston and Lucendale. You blokes in Kingston, over the years, have had some terrific clashes. Kingston, in more recent years, haven't had the cattle, but they've been recruiting well, and you blokes fell over the line with a Logan goal late, and I do believe that you've lost one of your leading players. A bloke called Graetz is out of the side.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it's a little bit of...
What happened?
Well, I'm not supposed to say this on air,
it's not an injury.
No, not an injury.
Oh no,
no. So, Tommy is Sammy. I should say. Is there anything that you need to tell us about who's playing in Lucendale's side and who could be omitted this week?
Well, it's actually pretty exciting this week. I am omitted this week, not because it is a little bit of an injury, but I think I'm probably best served on the bench at the moment.
Yep.
But we do have an exciting thing this week is Nathan Clark, who moved to us in 2001 from Mount Compass. He's an ex-captain, premiership player, and he's playing with his son, Cody. So it's always exciting things in country footy when you get to see that because, that's what country footy is all about. It's about these sort of moments, and these two will cherish that. One's playing centre half forward, one's playing half forward flank, so they'll look after each other down there, and that's going to be awesome. And we always do have some big games against Kingston. It's very hostile when we go over there. The crowd gets into it, and it's bloody good fun. So they'll have a good side. We've lost a few from last week, but I still reckon I'm backing us in. I think we've got the side on paper, so see how we go.
Well, I tell you, with the great man missing, the high marking, he was
part of the Brains Trust on the bench. He's just got to get things right there.
I know, but there was a fella that used to run around down there at Kingston called Stewie Cooper, and there hasn't been anybody better at the exponent of the great mark since him than Sammy Graetz. Big loss for Lucendale, but Kingston for mine will win this at home.
Well, jeez, he's thrown. That's it. He's off. Look at him go. He just jumped straight off. I suppose you're going to tip Naracoorte to beat Kaiby as well.
I am.
Yeah.
Yes, I am. It's the Anzac match too, isn't it, Sammy?
Straight on Naracoorte, yep.
No, I think I'm with you there, Flo, man. I reckon Zach's got him up and going down at Demon Land, so it looks like it's at Naracoorte as well. So I think Kaiby, unfortunately, will be struggling a bit this year, and I think the Demons will flex their muscle, as they say.
All right. I agree too. And I'll tell you what, match of the round is at Padthaway. Don't worry about that. The Lions will be smarting after Sammy Graetz's Blues
robbery.
Just stole the victory from the jaws of defeat, if you don't mind. The Moots, not overly convincing last week, just taking a little while to warm into the new season, but this should be a beauty.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to see the result of this. I was talking to Luke Weezy during the week. He's feeling the best he's ever felt. He's kicking pretty straight. And Padthaway will be great. They've got a good side, and I think we were lucky to get away with that win. And they will really start to gel, I think, through the year. And they'll be quick. They had good ball use, so this will be a cracker. My boys at Mundalla, I do get on well with a couple of lads. So on that note, I'm going to tip the Moots because I'm too scared to do anything else. But it'll be a cracker.
Oh, gee. Yeah.
I'm not going to tip against the best club in Southeast football because that's apparently what happens when you win the Limestone Coast League with 6 teams.
Yep.
Mundalla, they will win this game.
Oh, see, I'm going for the Lions here in beauty. I'm also looking forward to see the two Clarks, see whether they both score goals against Kingston. Now, whether they get a chance to do that would be absolutely brilliant. I actually remember the Clarks from Mount Compass having played my junior football at Langhorne Creek and taken on those mighty cow farmers over there at Mount Compass.
Cow farmers?
Oh, they are. Mount Compass is famous for the great cow ride. That oval was like a cow paddock, I tell you. But looking forward to the Clarks coming out to play. That'll be fantastic, Sammy.
Yeah, Phil Clark's probably sitting in the tractor right now listening to this, so he'll probably love that.
He might have been the guy that kicked.
I can't get past the cow farmers.
I think he's probably the guy from Mount Compass that kicked 10 goals on the junior Colts. But anyway, that's another story. But Sammy Graetz, great to talk to you about KNT. It's going to be a beauty of a round.
It will. Always a pleasure, gentlemen.
Duration servicing Bordertown and surrounding areas for nearly 30 years. And the team takes pride in being able to assist you with all your plumbing, irrigation and garden needs. From fittings, hoses and pipes to swimming pool supplies, water testing and ammunition supplies. Call into their new showroom and see on display pumps from Grundfos, Davey, Ongar and Southern Cross. Drop in and see Bordertown Pumps and Refrigeration's huge new location. 57 McClellan Road in the Bordertown Industrial Estate. Phone 8752 1959.
Wasn't my fault. It came out of nowhere.
Oh, no. Just my luck.
See that sign back there? Says low bridge. Whatever the reason for your car, truck, motorbike, tractor or even caravan accident, Ferguson Paint and Panel will fix it. Private or insurance repairs, no questions, no fuss. Ferguson Paint and Panel, Bordertown Industrial Estate or fergusonpp.com.au.
Vermeer & Brothers, in conjunction with Irrigation Industries at Keith, is a family-owned business providing irrigation solutions to Tatiara and Limestone Coast farmers. Supported by Valley, the world's largest pivot manufacturer and producer of the ultimate poly-lined pivot, they're also the largest turbine pump manufacturer in South Australia, with the ability to match pumps to Limestone Coast conditions. Improve your water efficiencies. Visit Vermeer & Brothers and Irrigation Industries at vermeerandbros.com.au.
Deb.
Oh, wow, Joe, your place is so warm.
Yes, I know. We gave Peter a call at Kingston Electrical and Renovator Centre. He installed roller shutters and zip track blinds, great to warm our home in winter and keep cool in summer.
And just look at your new combustion heater.
Deb, it keeps our home so warm. It's a Regency Fire. You can get them inbuilt or freestanding.
Oh, and I love your new curtains.
They have blinds and curtains, even carpets and floor rugs. And we colour matched a new toaster and kettle set with the decor.
Joe, can we rain check the coffee? I'm off to check out a new floor rug.
Well, wait for me. I want to check out the new range of bedroom suites and mattresses.
Kingston Electrical and Renovator Centre, 33 Agnes Street, Kingston, South East.
When it's go time, nothing else matters. And our team of technicians cover over 1 million square kilometres. 70 Case IH factory-trained professionals ready to keep you going. Because at O'Connor's, we'll be there whenever you need. O'Connor's Case IH. Keep growing.
The River Murray, unstoppable. Just like the footy. River Murray Football.
Oh, yes, nearly at an end of the program, but we cannot wrap things up here on The Flow Friday night sports show without our last guest of the evening, Flow man. Come on, who is it?
Well, it's got to be Big Brucey. Hey, Big Brucey, how are you, mate?
G'day there, boys. Oh, rare and ready to go. Another 7 days has ticked off the list. And, gee, it's going to be another big week in River Murray football. Oh, get fired up, they say. Oh, what a big week in River Murray football. One of the biggest weeks you'll ever see. And it's all ready to go for the Anzac weekend. And, gee, there's been some big movements in the River Murray, not just only in positions, but in percentage too, boys.
Well, wasn't there some percentage that was just gained last weekend? I guess you could say, Bruce, Meningi got their back to the wall at the moment. Imperials 21-17, 143. Meningi did kick some goals, 4-5-29, but that's another 100-plus point thrashing for the poor old Bears.
Oh, certainly was. And look, when you analyse the pre-season list I did of where they'll finish on that premiership ladder, the big fella is spot on the money. I said Jervois and Taylor and Imps in the top three, then Ramblers and Manham and Meningi and Maipo down the bottom. And that's right where they are at the moment, fellas. And look, it was the Johnny Boris show again as he banged on another 9 goals. And look, he's just dominating up in that forward area for the Blues. Samblick, Harrifield and Farm were named best players. Dean Michelle were in a return from injury, kicked 4. And just too many winners, the Blues, and ran out easy winners in the end by 114 points. For Meningi, it was Lawson and Robinson and Ho that got in their best players, but, gee, they're just lacking a big goal kicker up forward.
They are at the moment. Another percentage boosting win for Tailem Bend, who they don't need any more percentage. I don't think they can deal with any more percentage. They're full of percentage right now, Tailem Bend. They just keep kicking big scores, 23-17, 155. Mypolonga, 3-4-22, Bruce, and they had their 3 goals at half-time.
Well, they did, and Mypo's, as I said in the intro there, Mypo's percentage dropped from something like 49.50 back to something like about 37 or something. It's about 14%. So, look, that could be crucial to fight for that 5th spot. But, look, Tailem Bend just continue on their merry way. Look, I said they'd finished 3rd in the intro in the pre-season. Everyone laughed at me. Look, they've got this bloke that can play from Flagstaff Hill in the Southern Football League. We got a bit of a glimpse of him last year, didn't we, Jason? And
yes, yeah, I actually know who you're talking about now, yes.
Yeah, Rossi, he's an absolute gun. They've got Connor Smeldart forward. He slammed home another 9 goals, would you mind? They've got Nick Westhoff back in sensational form in ruck and all over the ground. The Hansons are dominating. Look, they're just one real complete package at the moment, just flattening everybody they come up against. For Mypo, it was good to see young Regan Gotch in the best and Stegmeyer and young Mason. So some good young kids coming through there, but, there was just too many big guns for Tailem as they finished off the Tigers.
Yeah, they certainly did, Bruce. And Gaia coming up from Keith's been a revelation for them. And they're just great to see not having to have Dylan Hogarth, their best player, week in, week out. They've got a good side now, Bruce. As of Jervois, 9-15-69, Dunmanham, 7-10-52. If you don't mind, the Bloods are looking okay, Bruce. I know that there's been a little bit of question mark at different times through the early part of this season, but this is a good win over Mannum.
Oh, brilliant win over Mannum. Out there too at Mannum, which is always a good win, of course. Mannum with Michael O'Malley back, that made a difference to their list. Look, you have 21 on a list these days, but when you put Michael O'Malley in there, he's just like riding 3 Michael O'Malleys in there. He's just such a gun on that half back line. And look, he was instrumental in a good duel there with Josh Scott up forward for Jervois. But look, Scott finished with 4, which was probably a pretty good effort considering he was standing the best backman in O'Malley. He was named best O'Malley, Webster and Cook, whilst for Jervois it was Pope and their new player Diamond and Woodall. And look, they tell me this Diamond pretty handy for the Bloods. For the goals, it was Ribbons with a couple for Mannum. Not too many multiples, and as I said, Scott with 4, Makins with a couple for Jervois, which leaves that premiership ladder, fellas, looking pretty much like we just spoke earlier with Tailem Bend on top, and then you've got the likes of Jervois and of course Imperials in those top 3 positions, and then followed by, as we said, Mannum and Ramblers and Meningie and Mypo unfortunately look to be the cellar dwellers this year, don't they?
They most certainly do, Bruce. Yep, spot on, mate.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you're spot on. And that's the first time we've actually said that this season. I don't think we've ever said that on this program, that Big Bruce is spot on.
Well, he's had his back against the wall and he's been backed into a corner and, well, thankfully he's tipping his back.
He's back in form too. How is the back going there, big fella?
Oh, I'm really struggling, boys. I tell you what, I had to hold the breath on that big week in River Murray football. Sadly, in our 7-year duration of covering footy and live streaming, I will be out of the bus tomorrow. So it's really hit the tummy hard, and I'm struggling to cope with it, boys. I might have to go and get some counselling or local footy, and unfortunately I've got a sore back, and it's been that bad it's put me on a walking stick, so I've done it. So, but anyway, soldier on.
Yes.
More people, a lot worse problems than what I've got.
Oh, yes, they have, Bruce. And tell you what, when we think about those soldiers that are soldiering on this weekend, it's Anzac round. And I'll tell you what, Bruce, on Saturday, Imperials play Tailem Bend. And if ever the Bend were looking to get some revenge on one of the enemies in the big bridge, it is at Johnson Park as they take on Imperials. Your quick tips.
Oh, look, this will be an absolute thriller. Why the River Murray aren't live streaming this one, I don't know. This will be an absolute belter. It's top of the table clash. Neither of them have lost a game. Look, Harrowfield, he'll be the trump card for Tailem, for Imps. You've got the likes of Boris up forward. kicking many goals. They've got the general, Mr. Cool-Down back, McMahon. They just look to have winners all over the ground. They've got some good young kids coming through. They've got those blokes that have come back in the likes of Oates and Wilson.
Yep.
Look, I think Taylor and Bender, they'll take it up to them. If they're around the mark, it's just going to be that confidence to win the match, And, look, if they can get a few goals out in front, they'll probably go home with it. But, look, I'm going to go for Imps. Got to be smart. It's got to be a smart tip. They'll just have the experience and should get the job done in an absolute thriller, 1 to 10.
Right, Eagles for me there. At Le Mesureur, it'll be Ramblers getting beaten by Jervois, in my opinion. I think the Bloods will be too good, Bruce.
Yeah, Jervois without Silverlock and Zaratnillo and Kemp, so 3 big outs. But they've got Tyron Hill, Barnett and Bagazi back in. So Hill will make the 630-kilometre trip from over there in Victoria. I think it's over there near Swan Hill somewhere. So he'll make the big trip over, and they'll look for the return of Hill. Look, Diamond's pretty good around the ball with Woodall. They've got Gibson in ruck. They're missing Josh Noy, he's going to be out for most of the season with a leg injury. Ramblers, they've got some experience in the side which they'll turn to in the likes of Whalen and Thompson.
Right.
But, I think Jervois, like you said, should be too good and they should get the job done 31 to 40.
Madam go down to Meningie Oval for the Anzac round and I think Madam comfortably, Bruce.
Yes, Madam should get the job done down at Bear Park very comfortably. The Bears will be looking to their experience of Sanders and Robinson and Spinks and these type of guys, Lawson and Reichelt.
Yep.
But, when you come up against Madam, they look to have too many guns. O'Malley looks to be named in the side. So going with that, along with Ribbons and Keller, and they'll be looking for this new player they've got in Russo to really step out of the blocks. I think Madam will have too much petrol in the tank and get the job done down there at Bear Park, 51 to 60.
Right, Bill, let's not get you back up any further. You take a bit of a rest, Big Brucey. And
I'll back off. Leave him alone.
I'll tell you what, we'll be back in a minute anyway to sum up and finalise this show. Brucey, we look forward to your comments next week on River Murray.
I'll be back next week.
We're not getting any younger, so in the end, the decision to get the caravan we've always wanted wasn't hard to make. We're glad we visited Murray Bridge Caravan and Outdoor Centre first. Their exclusive range of new Willow and Montana vans, quality used vans and pop-tops is outstanding. You can grab parts, accessories and equipment, or for service and maintenance as a qualified technician on site. Check them out, Murray Bridge Caravan and Outdoor Centre, right by the lights at 100 Morris Road. More than just a caravan centre.
The Flow FM Friday Night Sports Show with Jason the Flow Man.
Oh, she's going to be a ripper.
Friday nights and repeated Saturday mornings 8 till 10.
So let's get to it.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Don't forget the replay, 8 till 10 tomorrow if you missed anything. And our podcasts as well. They're up already all over Facebook and social media. You can check them out there, the Flow Friday Night Sports Show. I've got to say, before we go to the situation in Perth is interesting. A couple of cases of community transmission means that the Fremantle Dockers and North Melbourne will be playing in front of no crowd, Flow Man.
Oh, disappointing, isn't it? I mean, just after the Dockers did Adelaide last week, their fans would have been absolutely looking forward to a big win at home.
They would have, and I tell you what, North Melbourne might get a bit of an advantage out of that because they are used to playing in front of no fans. That is all the time we've got for today. Good luck to everyone playing across the weekend, and the Anzac Spirit will be on show, I am sure, for all those that are actually playing on the big day. Look after yourselves on the Saturday night, and for those of you who are attending dawn services and whatnot across our great state, enjoy that. I will be as well. Flowman, you getting to a dawn service?
Yes, looking forward. It really is a poignant moment, I think, for all Australians, and we should never forget, lest we forget at the end of that trumpet or the bugle that plays. It is something that we all shouldn't forget this weekend, and hopefully as we get out and about we won't. Just on another of the important things that are happening through the weekend, I'll be actually out and about calling it in the commentary box out of the Peak Oval with the Murrayville versus Peak game for MFL TV, and we're also looking forward to having a lot of coverage on football next week on the Sports Fix. So it is time for us to wrap it up and go. Jace Regan, always love being here in the commentary box with you out there or here on the radio. You have a great weekend. We look forward to doing it all again next week.